This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or mental health advice. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast and are not intended to malign any religion, group, club, organization, business, individual, anyone, or anything.
Nippy here. Here's a short preview of a bonus episode from A Little Bit Culty's Patreon, where you can get the whole thing plus access other bonus content and ad-free new episodes. See the show notes to learn more or go to patreon.com/alittleBitCulty.
You actually see it. You're watching it in real time. And I think that's very, very important. And I was saying this on my podcast the other day, is basically because if you just say something like, oh, well, I'd never get involved in a sex cult. Yeah, of course you wouldn't. Nobody would. You'd get involved in something else. But if you keep insisting, if you keep not wanting to learn about how these things work, then you're just going to say, I'd never get involved. And so you'll never see it coming. If you see the insiders talking, you see what's happening and you can understand the pattern, as you say, and then you will see it coming when you understand how the whole thing works.
The only way to ensure that you won't see it coming is recognize that you're a candidate for it. If you immediately dismiss yourself as a candidate for coercive control, that's your blind spot.
Exactly. And then the other thing, you asked how did I feel? Honestly, a lot of sadness. I mean, I felt lot of sadness.
Yeah. I was surprised I felt that because, I don't follow the loyalists particularly, but when something comes across my feed and they're bashing you, they're bashing Sarah, I'm just kind of like, in my mind, I have a natural fuck you impulse. But then when I actually saw them on camera and I was like, my compassion kicked in. I felt really, really sad that they're in this. And I really wanted to see them evolve it. Like nobody's enjoying that.
When Nicky put on the jacket, Keith's jacket.
Oh my God. I was like,
that was so sad.
I was so sad. It was just it was so fucking desperate, and I don't even know. I don't even have the words for it. It just feels like such a tragically wasted path to take.
Mm-hmm.
But I do recognize as well that the wake up path is treacherous as well. I mean, Sarah, you said it in the episode, like, she has a long, hard road ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
If she ever wakes up, she has a very long, hard road ahead of her.
Right.
This road is hard as well, but
choose your hard.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to watch me talk about Nicky? Because you brought me in, I brought Nicky in.
Yeah.
Like, how does that all feel?
I felt the weight of responsibility, because as I was watching you and the weight of responsibility of what you were feeling, and that I was feeling the weight of responsibility along with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you bring people in and then of course you do everything to get them out. But there comes a certain point where there's just nothing you can do because the programming is so strong that like you trying to pull her out, she's already made sense of why you're doing it.
Actually makes it worse.
Because I think that they think we're just weak, We didn't have what it took.
Right.
Yeah. They've cast themselves as the moral beacons of this thing, and they think this is them demonstrating that when it's really not.
Exactly.
And we're the last people that can tell them they need a loved one or they need something else to.
Yeah. I don't have patience for that shit anymore. Although I will say, because I had so much sadness watching episode 1, like for years I was very angry. And that anger began subsiding as I began healing in a deeper way. And then watching episode 1, I was actually happy to see that I didn't have anger so much.
Mm-hmm.
I just had like, my God, imagine if we were still in there. Like, holy fuck. That's terrifying.
Dude.
That's terrifying.